Hello student, once again welcome back to English lecture. Now we will learn the continuation part of lesson number 1.5 Joan of Arc. The continuation of the second scene. So to test whether or not Joan is an angel, a saint, or if she is mentally ill, Bluebeard, who is a soldier, pretends to be the Dauphin. Joan immediately calls out the ruse and picks out the real Dauphin. Joan tells the Dauphin that her mission is to win back Orleans so that he can become king. The Dauphin does not want to be king, but Joan uses reasons and compassion to boost the Dauphin's self-esteem, and he gives her permission to continue with her quest. The third scene, which takes place on April 29, 1429 on the bank of Loire River across from Orleans. At the river bank, Joan encounters Jean de Dunois, who was the leader of the French troops. Dunois informs Joan that his strategy is to sneak up on the English guards on the other side of the river or rafts, but has not been able to attack as the wind is blowing in the wrong direction. As Joan begins to live to pray for the wind to change, it does. Dunois is now a believer in Joan, and her mission gives her control over the troops, and they all raft off to liberate Orleans. Fourth, three men meet in a tent on the English side. They are Chaplain de Stogumber, a nobleman, Richard de Bussam, Earl of Warwick, and a bishop of Bewes, Cusson, and are plotting to defeat Joan. Joan and her men have succeeded at winning back Orleans and also have taken back 5 other French towns, and now the Dauphin will finally be crowned King of France. The chaplain does not like Joan's denial of traditional gender roles, such as being a military leader and dressing like a man. The nobleman has it out for Joan for political reasons. Of Saint 4, Chaplain believes that her goal to unite France under one king will undermine the feudal system. What is feudal system? That is feudalism, which is a system in which people were given land and protection by people of higher rank and worked and fought for them in return. So, he believes that a goal to unite France under one king will undermine the feudal system that gives him power, and that this idea of nationalism will spread to England. The bishop sees Joan as a threat for the Catholic Church, because if the common people can commune directly with God, there will be less need for the clergy. The nobleman and chaplain want the bishop to use his power to burn Joan as a witch, someone working with Satan. The bishop decides that if Joan is turned over to the church, she will be tried her as a heretic. The church will try to save her soul, and then she would be turned over to the church to be burned. The nobleman puts a price on the capture of Joan. In scene 5, which takes place in a cathedral in Reims just after the Joan's coronation of the Dauphin, Dunois finds Joan praying alone, tries to convince her to go greet the waiting crowds. Joan does not care for the celebrity She is obstinate but misses battle and craves support in the king's court. So she considers going home. Charles, who has nothing but complaints about his coronation, would be happy to see Joan go. The new king only wants to sign a peace agreement so he can avoid work. Of Saint Philip, the Archbishop warns Joan about the Inquisition and the bishop's passionate hatred of heretics. He tells Joan that if she is captured in battle, neither the crown nor the military will save her. Joan musters up her courage and says that even though she is alone, she will have God's strength and the love of the common people to push her through battle until she dies. Scene 6, which takes place in a castle in Rouen in northern France on May 30, 1431. Joan has been captured, sold to the nobleman, and has been under a strenuous inquisition for 3 months. She has been through 15 examinations. Joan was put on trial under Bishop Pierre Cusson for suspected heresy and witchcraft. Cusson persistently made efforts to make her confess that she had invented the voices and found her guilty of heresy. Joan had signed an abjuration, that is rejection disowning, admitting that her previous statements were lies. But after a few days, she said that she hadn't meant the abjuration. At this, she was sentenced to be burned at the stake when she was only 19 years old.